Ladies and gentlemen, we need to talk about TV. No, not the best anime that's ever existed. That's what the fans think it stands for. I'm talking about the beginning after the end, which after watching the anime feels more like the beginning after my patience ended. The adaptation massacre. You know what they say about the book to screen adaptations? Where T-Bates anime took that saying, threw it in a blender and served us as a smoothie that tastes like disappointment with a hint of what could have been. I've read the entire manhwa, yes, all of it, because I'm a masochist who enjoys emotional damage. And let me tell you, watching the anime after reading the source material is like ordering a five-star meal and getting served instant ramen. Sure, it's technically food, but where's the seasoning? The pacing problem. The anime's pacing moves slower than Arthur's character development in the early chapters of the manhwa. And that's saying something because watching baby Arthur was like watching paint dry. If paint could occasionally shoot magic and make you question your life choices. They had 300 plus chapters of manhwa content and somehow managed to make 12 episodes feel like they covered about 3 chapters. It's like they took the slow burn concept and decided to extinguish the fire entirely. The animation budget apparently went to, well, I'm not sure where it went. Maybe they spent it all on making Arthur's hair look slightly less ridiculous than in the manhwa. The fight scenes have less movement than a meditation class and about as much excitement as watching a Wi-Fi buffer during the climax of a favorite show. When Solo Leveling's anime dropped, it set the bar so high that T-Pate's animation looks like it was made on MS Paint by someone's little cousin during a power outage. And speaking of solo leveling, can we address the elephant in the room? Both debate and solo leveling fans act like those manhwas invented the concept of an overpowered protagonist in a fantasy world. Newsflash, that trope is older than your grandmother's cooked secret cookie recipe. But Arthur is so complex. No, Karen. Having daddy issues and being reincarnated doesn't make you the next Shakespeare protagonist. Half the anime characters out there have more tragic backstories than debates. Arthur, oh, you were reincarnated with memories of a past life. How original. Let me add that to the list right next to Truck Gun Strikes Again. And I got transported to another world where I'm certainly special. Arthur's whole. I was a king. Now I'm a baby. Look how mature I am. Stick gets old faster than milk left in the sun. We get it, dude. You're mentally older. That doesn't make your every decision the peak of tactical genius. The power scaling in Tibet anime makes about as much sense as pineapple on pizza debates. One moment Arthur is struggling with basic magic, the next he is practically rewriting the laws of physics. It's like watching someone go from barely passing driving school to suddenly being Lewis Hamilton. And don't get me started on the revolutionary magic system. It's elemental magic with extra steps and fancy names. Revolutionary? Well, more like rebranded. At least Solo Leveling knows what it is. Pure power fantasy with gorgeous art. Fights that actually make your heart race because of the animation and the really good art style in the manga. It doesn't pretend to be deep philosophical literature while serving up the same weakest becomes strongest plot we have seen 1,000 times. Debate tries to be profound and ends up being pretentious. It's like that friend who uses big words incorrectly to sound smart. Like, we see what you're doing and it's not working. The debate defense squad will tell you, you have to read the novel. The anime doesn't do it justice. But if I need to read a 2,000 page novel to understand why your 12 episode anime is good, then your anime has fallen harder than you think. An adaptation should stand on its own legs, not hobble around asking the source material to carry it like a piggyback ride. Mind blowing? The only thing that gone blown was my mind trying to figure out why everyone thinks this story is revolutionary. It's the guy with the coat of paint that's slightly different shade of beige. The plot twists are about as surprising as finding out water is wet. Like, oh no, there's corruption in the nobility. Shocking. Absolutely earth shattering. No one has ever written that before in the history of fantasy literature. I'll give credit where it's due. The Marvel art is gorgeous. The problem is, beautiful art can't stay a story that moves with the urgency of continental drift. It's like putting a designer frame around a picture of someone's lunch. Still looks nice, but what's the point? Look, I'm not saying debate is the like really, really bad or trash, but especially the manhwa. The anime is trash. I'm saying that. The manhwa is not trash. It's like decent, average. But calling it exceptional is like calling a participation trophy from middle school an Olympic gold medal. It exists. It's fine, but let's not pretend it's changing the game. The anime took source material that was already overhyped and somehow made it less exciting than watching grass grow in slow motion. Look, debate fans, I respect your dedications. I really do. But sometimes love is blind, and sometimes that love makes you defend animation that looks like it was made during a budget crisis at a studio that specializes in making commercials for a local car dealership. The beginning after the end, more like the end of impatience after the beginning.